welcome to the zoning board hearing. We've got a hefty agenda tonight. We've got a couple of overviews we need to conduct. So the first one that we are going to address tonight is some slight modifications of the residence at Stone Ridge, which is the site next to Restaurant Depot on Route 85. There's just some confirmation of, and some design stuff that we had originally gone over. And then they'll fill us in. There's probably a small reduction of units, is that correct? And then they've done just a modified layout, adding pool, clubhouse, and looks like a couple of garages. So with that, I'll just turn it over to you for the quick overview.
Sure.
Working?
Israel Lopez with the Gutierrez Company, for the record. Good evening, everyone. So when we were last, I'm going to put this down.
You can
Can
put
you
it
hear me
down.
through it?
You can put it down and go to that if you want.
So as the chair mentioned, when we were last before the board, we had presented the original plan, and the original application for the comprehensive permit had 272 units. The plan that we have submitted tonight has reduced the unit count in compliance with the comprehensive permit from 272 units to 242 units. The unit mix remained the same from the originally approved unit mix, with a slight reduction of bedrooms. So the unit mix was provided in a form that we submitted to the board. There are 382 bedrooms. The mix of one bedroom, two bedroom, and three bedrooms, percentage-wise stayed the same.
Stay the same. Yep.
So we did make a couple of refinements to the plan. So the prior plan had the clubhouse amenity within.
Yeah. That's the first one, correct?
Correct, within Building B. And so what we've done, in order to create a little bit more of a presence at the entryway, is to bring the clubhouse out to the entrance of the site and make it in its own separate building. So there are actually two buildings. One's going to be the leasing office. The other one's going to be the clubhouse facility with the pool in the center. And what that allowed us to do also was to create another lane in between buildings B and C. So in the prior, in the original scheme, there was grass area there. In the revised scheme, there's a lane which allows better access for emergency vehicles. But other than that, the plan remains basically the same. The buildings themselves have shrunk a little bit. The footprints have gotten smaller. And other than that, the plan remains pretty much unchanged. So we've also created we've subdivided the lot, and we'd gone before the planning board and gotten the subdivision approved, so that this project will now sit on its own tax parcel.
Does this trigger a review to Concom? Just as a question.
Yes, so we submitted plans to the Conservation Commission. They issued an order of conditions, and so that's what we've been kind of busy doing since we were last before the board.
Okay. Any quick questions? John, anybody? Jerry, you want to make any comments,
Yeah,
please?
just a couple. As you know, the determination here is whether or not these are substantial changes, and that's what the board has to decide. And if they're not substantial changes, then they will be part of it. If the board finds they're substantial, then there has to be a public hearing. They're not substantial in my view, but that's for the board to decide.
I don't see them being a substantial change that's going to warrant that.
So if you approve it tonight, what you're going to be approving these plans as being, in essence, a substitute to the extent they differ for the original record plans, and the rest of their submission would be part of the new record in addition. But yeah, one question I would ask, and we've talked about this, one key to this one and the other ones is water. Where do you stand with water? We know there was discussion between your group and another group with the water company. Can you tell the board where that stands right now?
Yes, so we have worked with David Condrey of the water company to essentially enter into an agreement to provide water to the project, and we're making a contribution to the water company to fund improvements to generate additional water capacity.
Improvements to the Dilla Street wells?
I believe so, but
So, and this is where I want to get solid confirmation. Dave, Can they get online and ready to go under construction based on whatever agreement you guys have agreed to this year?
So the agreement has us bringing it into next year, so it's not so much this year. So the agreement says that they can't apply for a water service until next year, so that would be obviously 2020.
But-
And by that point, Godfrey Brook will be in a better state. We just recently finished a treatment pilot testing, so we got approval for the treatment process with DEP. We are in the process of doing test wells within the facility to supplement the existing wells. Next week, we're actually starting redevelopment of the existing wells to bring those back up to their original capacity. And we just recently, but we're working out the final details on the agreement, selected Tate and Howard to do the design for the actual new building / treatment facility. Within their proposal, they gave us about a 15-month period for design and construction of the treatment plant. So that will put us into, next year at some point where we're actually delivering water.
And when you deliver that water, I mean, when you were here before, and I remember a letter of June 11th of 18, and you pointed out with good numbers that these three entities needed about 90,000 gallons per day, and the result of an agreement to redo just the Dilla Street wells was going to produce something in terms of 600,000 gallons per day, leaving an excess available, obviously, to benefit the rest of the residents.
60,000 is what we were told.
Yeah,
In excess.
and that was going to be
Is that
available.
still the case?
It will be even more because of Godfrey Brook. At the time, we were not thinking that Godfrey Brook was gonna be this close because we thought that these guys were going to be speeding up the process maybe. We thought, that's why we started looking at Dilla Street. Because the company is focusing on Godfrey Brook. And at the time that the 40Bs originally came to us, we saw it 3 years down the road before we thought Godfrey Brook would even be producing water. But, since then, a lot of, things haven't progressed as far as the 40Bs are concerned, and their need for water. So the timing with Godfrey Brook is going to coincide with them going online. We are then going to focus on Dilla Street. So.
This is not predicated on Dilla Street being built.
That's correct. At this point, it's not. And one of the issues we're having is with the other 40B. So Gutierrez has stepped up to the plate, if you will, and they've agreed to contribute towards the Dilla Street project. And we are working with the other 40B, Mr. Stephen Zief, his group. We're trying to hash out the similar type of agreement with them. Once we get the agreement with them, we should be able to move forward with Dilla Street, along with getting Godfrey Brook moving forward.
Because it's more of a clarity process for me, because we're seeing developments happen and developments are getting water. But everybody's been shut down on these 40Bs to produce any progress. So my understanding was, when we were going down this road, over the year and a half this took to get this process done, is that Dilla Street well was the most important part of what we needed to do, and that improvement was to the tune of, what, $5 million at the time? I
No,
think?
so Godfrey Brook is what you're talking to. Dilla Street came up after we started talking to the 40Bs and trying to, again, they were looking for water sooner than what we were projecting to be able to supply water out of Godfrey Brook. Because at that time, again, we were looking at 3 to 4 years before we thought we would get water up. But at that time, that was the time frame we were probably considering. But since then, because of, again, the process has kind of slowed down, Godfrey Brook, we've been moving forward with it. So it's gotten closer to being able to produce water now, coinciding when that project will go on.
So if Gutierrez's company wants to go under construction, you'll be able to provide them with water.
That's correct.
And if the other two came in tomorrow, you'd be able to do the same thing.
So the other two would, so again, it's kind of like, at this point, we're on this first come, first served type thing, where we'll have enough water to supply one of the 40Bs. If we get the other agreement signed and they do the same thing, they promise the same thing that Gutierrez did, we'll be able to start Dilla Street and get even more water to it. So that'll make it available for both projects. But at this point.
Or any
Gutierrez-
projects in town, right?
What's that?
Or any projects
Or
in
any
town. I mean,
project.
that's-
Well, that's what I'm saying, there's been a lot of development,
I just focus on these 40Bs.
I know.
there's been a lot of development going on and
Yeah,
providing
there's a
water.
single- There's been some single ones.
Have there been others that you've
No, I mean,
actually
they-
said you can't supply water to, other developments
Well,
aside
like
from these
Dominic
three?
Alfonso's got one coming
Yeah,
too,
his has
right?
been on the book. We've had an agreement on that one for Dominic since before I got here. So that one's kind of an older project that, you know, he already got approved for the water, so we
Then
kind
you
of-
have a small
we
one up on
earmarked
Central
that one.
Street. There's a small one up on Central Street. Are you providing water with that new subdivision as well?
I'm not sure about one on Central Street. I'm not sure which one that one is. I'd have to,
One
I'd
up on
have to.
top of the hill,
you
there's a
know
small
the name of
cul-de-sac
it?
going in up there?
I'm not aware of it. I wouldn't
I
necessarily.
don't know. if
No,
it-
you don't know about that one?
So far, the only ones that have gone on, we've had one or two single-family residences. that-
David, the key is at the time that you're ready to tell Gutierrez and the other company that, okay, the water's there, it actually will be enough to supply more than just them. Because part of the whole premise, in the original decision was not just that the town was gonna benefit by having additional capacity. And that additional capacity will be coming on at the same time as their needed capacity comes on, correct?
That's what we're looking at. And again, Gutierrez right now, based on their numbers, if once Godfrey Brook is online, we will have extra water for them to go on. We'll be focusing on Dilla Street for anybody else that comes in with a larger project, or the other 40 days.
Does the benefit of Foster Forbes, the glass company closing, helping the whole situation?
I'll tell you what, part of the reason that we're still in a stage one right now is that they used, on an average, of about 1.5 to 2 million gallons a month when they were in their peak. And probably when they were in their peak, in their glory days, if you will, they were probably closer to 3 to 4 a month from that facility.
So as he gets going, and that company now wants to come back and go online, what happens?
We'll have to review that. We'll probably look at any large commercial facilities similar to how the town looked at
The
the
40
power
Bs.
plant. And the
There.
40, but the power plant too, where we would probably limit how much water they can get on a daily basis.
Okay. So he'll be able to actually pull a permit to start, because I don't want anybody being promised water, and then at the end, not getting.
Well, they can't pull a permit.
They can't pull a permit,
until
there's a
they've
commitment
got
for
You've
water.
got an absolute commitment from the water company, yes.
then
And you'll
again,
review that.
In our agreement with them, they can't even make an application for water until next year.
Well, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that lines up with our timing for when we're going to start.
But that doesn't prevent you from actually doing site work if you wanted to at your own risk.
Correct.
David, I don't recall in our meetings with the other 40Bs and with Mr. Condrey last summer, I've never heard the statement, first come, first serve, before. This is brand new. My understanding was, once those wells were up, that there would be a surplus of 60,000 gallons.
More than that.
More than that. And I don't know if it's fair to the other projects for you to say it's first come, first serve. I mean, it's just,
I think the
That's
essence
not
of
my
water
understanding.
That's
supply
kind of-
is what they do. That's what, they have capacity. They do things on a first come, first served basis.
Right.
But the
I
key
recall-
is that
that's
it's
the model.
gonna
I
produce
recall
more
it joint
capacity than these entities need.
Yeah, but it's the model
Which will be
that
available to everybody on a first come.
when they
as it is now.
apply, that's when you get.
Yeah.
But I
We're not
thought-
saying that we're not gonna, we will be able to supply the other 40Bs, but
Right.
they'll just have to wait until we get the Dilla Street going.
And what's the timeline on that?
Godfrey Brook, for sure.
Yes, oh yeah, no, again, this is what stemmed the whole Dilla Street coming up, was that the water company have been focusing on Godfrey Brook. That's been we've been saying that all along, that that's our biggest project that we wanna get going, because that has the most value. It has more water capacity and will supply extra water. So that's always been our focus. But again, when the 40Bs both started hitting my desk, if you will, Godfrey Brook was 3, maybe 4 years out. But we've been progressing. So, you know, we're in a lot better place right now compared to where we were 2 years ago.
So what happened in the 2 years for Godfrey Brook
So
specifically?
we did the capacity study to make sure there was enough water to meet what the original permit for water was.
Okay.
So we did the capacity study, and the capacity study came back favorable, that we should have no issue, that well field has no issue supporting what was originally permitted for a volume, which I believe it was 790,000 gallons a day. So that was what the original permit was. So in the interim, we knew that there were issues with iron and manganese within the well field, so we knew if we're going to build a new pump facility, replace the wells, we needed to treat the water as well. So we had to do a test, a pilot test they called it. And the pilot test takes about a year, because you have to do a cold weather and a warm weather, blah, 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 testing of a particular treatment process. And we got that finished last year, got DEP approval, and so now we've moved into, okay, now we are going to do the design for the construction of the actual plant itself. And then they'll go out to bid for the actual construction.
So when do you anticipate going under construction for the Godfrey Brook well?
According to what we got back from the design engineer, their schedule brings it around 15 to 18 months, so that would bring us into next year. And that's for design and then the construction. That's including everything. But alongside of that, we've been moving forward with the installation and development of additional wells, plus redevelopment of the existing wells. So that once this plant is built, they can tie in all the sources and we can start pumping without having to prolong the process. Originally, we thought we were gonna do the design, build it, and then work on the wells. But now we're running the wells alongside with, under a different project, with doing the construction. So the wells will be ready when the building's ready and we can tie everything in.
So when he goes online, how much excess water do you anticipate being available at that time with him? Just him? If everybody didn't do anything else but him, what do you anticipate? Will we have excess water?
Yes, because I forget what yours was a day.
30 a day?
32,
Yeah,
something like
and
that.
We're talking
600.
790,000 a day out of Godfrey
So
Brook.
that's.
Now, could another 40B come in and apply and get into that as well?
We're safe from 40Bs for a while.
Yeah.
Because of the three that came
No, I'm saying
together.
the existing ones we
No,
have.
again, if we're pumping the 790,000, we would be able to support the other 40Bs.
Okay.
But what we have though is that we have an agreement signed with Gutierrez already. So our focus is we're expecting the other 40B to follow suit, et cetera.
Okay.
And if he doesn't,
You might have to wait.
have the
Because
water,
again, we're
but the
looking
water
at
is
the 40
available even without the
Yes,
agreement.
yeah. But again, we're trying to be as fair as possible, and again, for them, they put a lot of pressure on the other 40Bs because they stepped right up.
And in the event, out of the blue, another developer comes in and wants to develop another parcel of land and build 72 single-family homes, how would he have to adjust the water
We're
company?
gonna have to take a look at where we're at with the existing 40Bs that are before us,
Okay.
which are looking for approval, and they've already been in the queue for, a couple of years now anyway.
So they would have preference over that only because, same as the other developer
Right.
had preference that it's getting water anyway.
That's correct.
So everybody's gonna stand in line from here on in.
Right, especially large, I'm not saying some single-family home, a one bedroom, you know what I mean, a
Right.
normal home is different.
Development.
Development-wise, yes.
And that goes as well as commercial and industrial?
Correct, like RDOT now that they're gone, depending on what's gonna go in there next. It's-
Right.
they're gonna have to now get in line, depending, especially if they're talking about
A
using,
lot of usage.
200, 300,000 gallons a day.
Okay, great.
And just so you know, the plant, we still have that agreement that's in place with the power plant. So
With
they
power,
are
that's, yeah,
limited.
yeah.
The issue we're starting.
They're still taking some from the sewer, aren't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, they buy sewer, they have a well on site, and
yeah.
they get some from other locations.
Okay, okay.
So you should see if you got a motion to approve,
Yeah.
to find that it's, the changes aren't substantial and can
Yeah,
therefore
and
be approved.
that's all I'm looking for is, do I have a motion that these changes are not substantial enough to trigger
Chairman?
a separate hearing?
You have
Yeah,
a question?
sure.
So, the map on the water, if the Gutierrez company goes forward with their agreement, they're gonna use 32,000 gallons a day. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Correct.
And so, if the Godfrey Brook well comes online, there's gonna be an additional 700,000 gallons a day?
That's what he indicated, correct.
About 790,000 at full capacity.
So by Godfrey Brook coming online, there's plenty of capacity then? Is that correct?
That's correct. To support the 40 Bs, plus giving extra back to the town.
What's the longevity of Godfrey Brook?
Every well field has a point where, like we're doing now, eventually you have to go in and physically replace, add, totally redo the well. And that's where we're at with Godfrey Brook now.
So what's the longevity?
It's a high maintenance well field, so as long as we take wells offline every year and clean them, one of the big changes is in the process of developing a well. They now have what they call glass beads, which is less likely to get fouled as opposed to the old gravel pack that we used to put wells on. So the longevity is being pushed out. What that is now, they don't really know the longevity of the glass beads, but, 20 years.
In 20 years?
Yeah, and then we might be at the juncture again where I have to
Rebuild them
go
again.
down and
Yeah,
rebuild them.
and get
where-
another 20 years.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just a continuous process, especially with well fields in Milford.
Sounds like
Gillis
grand-
Streets is the same.
As long as our grandchildren have water.
Yep. Yeah, we'll make sure.
Okay, so I'm looking,
Dave, he's
I'm
got
sorry,
a
go
question.
ahead.
Just for fun, is there additional capacity right now? For water, like, what the,
So,
currently
I
today?
wouldn't say it's capacity, but because our doors aren't online, we're seeing about 1 million to 2 million gallons a month more capacity in the system, just because they're not using it.
That's the Foster Fourth, is that?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
right.
So right now, there's about 1 million?
Yeah, 1 million to 2 million.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
yep.
Any other questions? Comments? If not, I'll take a motion to approve as it was submitted and isn't considered a substantial change. I have a motion by Mark, I have a second by Chris. All those in favor? John, opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen, and good luck, by the way. You did a great job with the changes.
Jerry, I do
Appreciate
like the casual.
Dave, thank you, appreciate it.
I said I like the casual.
You gotta become casual now.
Yeah, I
Something
busted him
new,
today.
something new. I'll dress up next time, make Dave happy. I'll draft a decision for you, Dave,
Thank
and
you.
and get it to you tomorrow. the next
Okay,
day. Take a look at
that'd
it.
be great.
Give me the original plans.
Do you want this back?
If you don't need it, an
don't
extra
need it.
set would be good, you know? We can put it all together and make
Yeah, I
sure
got a
that
sheet here, I'll just.
A year from now, we can find it, you know? All right,
Okay.
thank you. Follow the rest of your meeting.
All right, next hearing.
Oh, gee, dude, I think I'll leave, Dave, you know? I'm gonna go off the clock, so I gotta get out of here.
Why?
69 West Street.
Have fun with the rest.
Yeah, because we've got a continuance on the one before you, so we're skipping ahead. Just as the board members, for an FYI, we have a letter from Warren Heller that the clients have decided to continue their special permit on 5 Elm Street until the September meeting. Need a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Motion by John, seconded by Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay.
We get some good knee walls tonight.
Okay. Okay, this is on the application of West Street Auto, 69 West Street, Milford, for variance for the special provisions of sections 3.9.7.2, the bylaw to permit the erection of a freestanding sign in excess of the square footage sign limitations of the bylaw property known as 69 West Street, assessors map 49-270, and located in the RA zoning district, which consisting of about .83 more or less parcels of land, and the parcel is owned by Santos Garage. The application indicates that they have, currently right now, West Street Auto Body has executed a lease to use the premises owned by Santos Garage, and the auto body repair shop and uses are incidental therefore. Given the extent of the proposed alterations, the applicant proposes to install a new sign with frontage area greater than allowed by the residential A district. With that, this was reviewed at the planning board. This was town planner Larry Duncan indicated that the applicant requested a variance to install a 28-square-foot sign to advertise for the non-conforming auto-related use on the subject property. The maximum size for a freestanding sign within the RA district is 6 square feet. Specifically, the proposal is to install a 28-square-foot double-faced internally illuminated freestanding sign on the property. The sign is to be installed within a larger stone monument-style structure within the required landscaped area of the entrance of the driveway. The proposed placement is outside of the clear sighted triangle of the driveway, and town planner recommended a favorable report be sent off to the ZBA. However, the planning board did review this petition in their regular scheduled meeting and held on June 18th and voted favorable. And also, in your folder, I am going to read a letter from an abutter, since it was, the abutter could not be here, property owner. And the property owner is Emery A. Lucier Jr., and I will read this into the record. To whom it may concern, as the owner of the property of 71 West Street, adjacent to West Street Auto Body, I'd like to oppose the erection of the freestanding sign that exceeds the square foot limitations. I'm concerned about the sign obstructing visibility on the busy road that is already difficult for maneuvering. This is a residential area that includes businesses. I'm concerned that the sign being requested is intrusive to the scope of the neighborhood and would be better suited to a business area. If the sign is made larger and illuminated, it is within the view of bedroom windows on my property, which would impact my current tenants and reduce the appeal of my property for future tenants. I am unable to attend the meeting on the 18th with the Zoning Board of Appeals. However, I am requesting that this letter speaks in my absence and that the Board of Appeals votes down the application to exceed the sign square footage limitations for the West Street Auto Body at 69 West Street. So with that, I'll turn it over to the applicant's attorney and kind of give us an overview of what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Eli Lano from Marin, Tonellis, Jackowitz, and Piranha. This location has been in front of this board before you granted the special permit to allow commercial use to continue on this property, as has been the case since well before zoning. We've also gone before the planning board for site plan review and had this location and the layout approved, as well as received our Class 2 license from the Board of Selectmen to sell cars and in the locations as approved on that site plan review. So now this, we're hoping, is the last piece of permitting this project, which, thank you. In the goal of making this a successful commercial use on a parcel that has been continuously commercial for over 50 years in this town. The building is set back quite a ways, which makes the RA zone allows a 6 square foot sign, which is just not, we feel, going to be conducive to bringing the business into this and having people know where this property is. Again, with that road setback. And the previous, the former use of this, Weather Shield Inc. also had a similarly large sign that happened to be on sort of steel posts and was not as nice looking. So in the goal of promoting the corporate use in this location, which has always been commercial use, and also improving the aesthetics of rather than just having a sign on sort of steel posts, we thought that this was a nice way to do it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. This is a multi-tenanted building, correct?
It isn't, no.
So it's just the auto body shop? That's it? That's the only single tenant? All right, I'll start with Dagger.
No, not at this moment.
Let us go through our questions, and then we're going to address the public, and then from that point, we'll, okay? That way, we may actually answer any questions you may have. Okay? Right, John?
Not right now, David.
Just if you could show me on the map, but just show me where the sign's going.
Yeah, I think in.
You don't have a big plan. do you?
Don't have a big plan. In the submitted package, we do have,
Can't read it.
sorry, I will come up and,
Yeah, I don't see where the sign
So-
is actually.
Oh,
is that?
yeah, this sign will be here.
How many feet off the road is that?
Okay.
It's pretty close.
Oh, is it illuminated?
See, the planning board's letter there mentioning that it was illuminated, I hadn't heard from my client or noticed from the signs on the plan that it was illuminated. I wasn't
Okay.
under the impression that it was.
Okay, so you don't have a problem with it not being illuminated?
No, I don't think we
Okay.
do.
Okay. Okay.
Because again, we do understand that although this is sort of a unique lot in this
Yeah.
area, it's an RA zone, and we understand that the neighbors are people
How many
on
feet off
a
the
relatively
road?
busy road and on
Okay.
living with their houses, so
See.
we want to be good neighbors as well.
I can't tell.
First of all, just so you know, that the sign cannot go in the town's right-of-way,
Right.
which is 10 feet off the road. So, and that's why I really would have preferred to have a bigger
Yeah, I
plan, just so
apologize.
we could visually see the footage, and I can't read it.
Well, I think we can stipulate that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to stipulate it. We may have to lose a parking spot because of it, but,
What's the variance for? Just to,
You're,
7 feet?
you're allowed to have a 6 square foot sign.
Okay,
So this would be more analogous to one in a commercial zone,
okay.
but and still smaller than would be allowed. You're allowed to have one freestanding sign of up to 6 feet. This is 28 square feet of signage.
I don't have any problems with it. I'm all set.
Well, would you have a problem if we just reduced the sign from 84 by 48 to 6 by 48? So basically 4 square feet and not,
it's 7 feet long,
Yeah.
6 feet long.
yeah, and not illuminated.
Can I ask respectfully what benefit you think that confers?
Just it gets us closer to, you know, what the requirements really are in that area,
Yeah.
you know, for signage.
Well, I don't know, because I can't tell whether it's 10 feet off the road or not, so it
gonna be
will
my next-
help getting it better positioned probably on the lot. Because I don't want, there's driveways on the other side that if it's right up to that property line, it could block someone from exiting out next door.
Right.
What is the width of the stonework to the right of the sign,
That's-
do you know?
The sign is only this, but we have all that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so if I'm pulling out of the abutting property, I may not, it may be totally blocking the view of traffic.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, these are all reasonable questions, and I am.
Did the planning board comment on that?
I don't believe they did.
They probably didn't see this. They probably didn't get the package.
They didn't get this
Yeah,
package.
they probably didn't get it.
Yeah,
Mr. Sherman, please, here is the current sign.
Is the 7 feet inclusive of the wall?
No.
Good question mark.
Sign,
It's not.
or
Good question
what
mark.
they
Yep.
have.
So you got pavement, then you have, this looks like, I don't know, 6 feet of sidewalk?
That's, yeah,
So that means they're trying to put the sign right here.
you can't,
And then you got a driveway right there.
right, so they're not gonna,
They won't be able to see.
The stonework that the sign is sitting on.
Doesn't count in the bylaws toward the frontage of the
This
sign. I think that's 3.9.
The sign is still 7
See
feet.
this here?
And 4 by
It
4
would be
feet.
higher than
Yes.
that. So
Not
people
including the
coming out
stonework.
Correct.
will be blocked.
It's a big sign.
It is a
That's a big landmark, so to speak.
relatively big sign, yes. Again,
How tall is this?
for,
Look nice.
Get here.
it will look nice.
But on West Street,
We always try to work with the applicants the best we can. And my concern is not having the large plan. We
Yeah, it
can't
doesn't-
see anything. We
doesn't-
can't see the measurements.
Well,
it doesn't give us any height.
But if we say it can't be closer than 10 feet from the side, Dave, then it's back
Well,
10 feet.
exactly, and as long as we're not blocking or impeding someone from trying to get out on vision. I mean, the building right there is within 3 feet
Of
of
the
that
sidewalk.
sidewalk,
Yep,
and you gotta come out almost on the road to be able to view.
I do have some, unfortunately, somewhat
Pick this,
poor printouts of
the batteries,
the
plug your
existing,
battery.
thank you.
which is absolutely bigger than 2 by 3, which would be.
Right.
What's there now?
Yeah, but see, with this sign, there's
You
nothing.
see right through it.
Exactly.
So 2 by 3 is what would be allowed by right, and that is absolutely bigger than that. I'm not.
But that's not
sure.
blocking anything.
Right. They
You can
still
see
have
right
s-
through it.
But if you're in a car, it's up sort of toward eye level.
Can I ask the neighbor?
Sure.
Question for you, this existing sign, if you pull out, can you see under the sign?
You can see under the sign. The problem, I live opposite 70 West Street,
Yep,
okay? And currently, like, we are having a problem when we are pulling out, and they are, on 71 would be pulling out also, okay? A lot, there are double parking lots, and we have also double parking lots. So we are like in conflict of seeing the cars coming down very fast.
right, but that,
Okay, and then pulling out, we can see through the side.
Yep.
They can see through the side, no problem,
Now this will be a problem.
okay? Like, we have problem with hedges, we have problem with the sign and things like that. So this is gonna be, I consider it a safety, because everybody's gonna be trying to pull out too fast, okay, in the wrong time,
okay.
okay?
Oh, I'm confused. Where does he live?
Yeah, you,
Opposite,
so you're on
So
the
it's on the
opposite,
other side of the
Straight
street? Are you a business or a residence?
I'm a resident,
You're a resident?
it's a one single property home.
See, it's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
go right here.
So-
If that goes right here, right now, these people can look out and have vision.
right, but he lives across the street.
Right.
His dwelling is not this house.
Right, I know.
You're opposite,
Yeah.
They're across the street.
The gentleman who sent the letter is the one who's.
Owns the
right
building
on
next
the
door.
building right next door.
okay. And he doesn't live there?
It's a rental,
Okay.
two units, I think.
Chris?
What side's gonna be
Send it back.
on the street? The brick side or the sign side? Like, is this the way it's gonna sit?
It would be on
Town
Wait,
property.
like you match it up?
Gotta be double-sided.
two-sided sign.
Right, but I'm saying, is it gonna be like this, or is this gonna be on the street side? Because you
No, I
can
think
do it
the
either way.
pillar will be
Pillar's on the
farther
inside.
away.
This guy's gonna
That's-
pull
that
out,
was
he's
on
gonna
the
be able to look
inside
to
of
the
the
left,
lot.
right?
Even if we
So
just
I
have
mean,
him come 10 feet off the back of the
is-
sidewalk, it's gonna
Do
be
you
in
have
this-
to have the pillar there?
this area.
I mean, that sign there, the weather shield looks, has
But if you're
those
10
two
feet off the
standing
road, you don't
Well, they're
get
submitting
iron
this.
there.
They're
Right,
submitting
that's what I'm
this.
saying, but.
We talked about bringing it back to, from 7 feet to 6 feet,
Front of your car
which
is
would
7
give you
feet.
better
The only
view,
person
depending on
that
where the
has a
sign
Right, and I think the
placement's
pillar
gonna be.
is what's making it,
This other house, his
But that's
driveway's on right
inside the
outside.
lot.
Side. Yep.
you could take the pillar off and push the sign back, is what I'm
I
saying.
think we just gotta push it off the street somewhere.
But if we did that, we could also just move everything
Right.
back.
Right.
I think we're pretty happy aesthetically with this design. That's something.
My question earlier was, how big is this foundation?
There's,
You got 28 square feet of sign.
Yeah, they just have the sign, but
Yeah.
they don't
How
have the
big is the
stone and the
foundation?
length.
Well, we know it's gonna be at least 7 feet plus a foot, so
It's
that's
probably
8
at least
feet.
a foot or two,
At
And
least a
that's
foot or
probably
two.
2 feet, yeah. So the
you're-
whole
you're 10
structure,
feet roughly.
10 feet,
No.
10 feet long.
I'm not saying it's,
You're gonna be at about 45 square feet. when It's all said and done.
well, it's not, the structure isn't considered the
this-
part of the
it is.
sign.
This is landscape.
I understand that, but this whole thing is still about 45 square feet.
It's the signage,
Right.
I know that.
and that's the signage bylaw. We're not talking about this.
I know that.
I'm just letting you know. This is the sign.
I do certainly understand what you're saying there, but we did try to meet the bylaw requirements on that portion of it and ask for the variance for the actual signage.
Yeah, because you have a buffer landscape requirement that you have to meet.
Eli, so would you be okay with, if we approved this sign and we went 12.5 feet off the street? So from the sidewalk, 5 feet, so 12.5 feet. The front of the concrete
Right.
would have to be 12 feet off, 12.5 feet off the sidewalk.
If we could have the same size sign that we've proposed and be 12.5 feet off, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
that's what,
something we.
that's what,
Yeah.
that's what I think it'll. I
That
think
makes better sense.
Yep.
I mean, we're gonna have, people bringing cars in here too. I think defending the sight lines for both the neighbors and for the people using our lot makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be reasonable
Any other
on all of
questions?
that.
We've determined.
Anybody else in the public would like to comment? Yes, sir. Your name, sir?
My name is Maher Sargis.
Okay.
I live in 71st Street. Now, for the sign, like, the current sign, I know it's not appealing or anything, okay? But as we are driving, we can see it very well, okay? They did very well, good job cleaning all the edges from around it and all of that, so it's even more visible, okay? It doesn't give any extra for him to have a bigger sign. However, the problem is, first, if it's gonna be illuminated, okay, there are bedrooms all around.
We already
We're not-
said
we're
no,
not-
no
we're not gonna
illumination.
illuminate it. No.
Okay. The other thing is, square footage, okay, I feel is very big sign, becomes like a commercial place. If I wanted to live in a city where all the businesses around me with big signs and all of that, that would have been fine. So it will, I fear that at one point it will deduct from the value of the house, that we have this business district. It doesn't anymore look like a residential.
Well, it's always been there. It's pre-existing.
understand.
It's been an allowed site. Frankly, this is gonna look a lot better than what's there.
Yeah, however, if square footage, we can work on a square footage, okay? That will be a compromise, because like all the businesses around us, the liquor store, the other auto body, and all that, they don't have signage on the streets, advertising and all of that. I understand he has a disadvantage of his building is set to the back, so he can put a big sign on it if he like to, okay? As well as a reasonable sign on the street also.
Is there also a sign on the building of this, do you know?
No, I don't, nothing large like this, because again, we would need a variance for that, because those tend to be the commercial regulations of the sign bylaw, where you are 20% of a wall frontage on, and those calculations don't apply to this RA, we would have to come back before this board.
There's gonna be no light shining on this thing at all.
No,
No, we're
there's,
not gonna, it's not being illuminated.
I mean,
We're gonna
from the
condition
building
it.
shining out.
Bring it back a foot.
building is
Cut a foot
way
off.
set back,
I
which
know where
is,
it is, but there's not
creates
gonna be
the
anything
need.
We don't really have a
like when
dimension.
it's dark at 4 o'clock,
Oh,
there's not gonna be
this is
anything
supposed to be their
shining on
green
this, so anybody
space.
knows where it is.
Nothing proposed on that,
Nothing
no.
looks bad.
No, I think it looks pretty good.
I like
Floodlights.
12.5 feet
No,
off the road.
I
and done.
understand what you're saying, and I think that headlights illuminating it will
sidewalk.
be the extent.
Oh,
Even
roadway.
set back to 10
You said
feet.
sidewalk.
I
Did he say
think it
sidewalk?
should
What
work.
did you say?
12.5 feet.
And again, I don't,
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
Okay.
From the street, I said 12.5 from the street. You look at this sign, the
Right,
sign that's right now is, if that's 5 feet, that sign's probably at 6.5 feet. Sign
Right,
that's there
right,
now.
it's-
So,
yeah.
so So I'm saying from the
If we
street,
push it in, then it won't impede any traffic.
right, so I'm saying from the street, 12.5 feet from the street.
Yeah, from the edge of the sidewalk.
Correct.
Yep.
From the
Right,
edge of the outside.
From the curb
Correct.
in, from the curb in,
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Correct. Yep.
12.5 feet,
yes,
that's reasonable.
yeah. And no lights and no illumination.
No floodlights from the building,
No spotlights.
no kids with flashlights.
I don't know how the neighborhood kids will react to that. That might be beyond our jurisdiction, but yes, that's fine.
So you're making a motion?
Yeah, so we gotta close the hearing.
Oh, that's right.
Any other comments? If not, you have your last word before we take it under advisement.
I appreciate you all for what you do and both making sure that our business has the best opportunity to succeed at this location, but also in respecting the needs of the neighbors. You all do a good job with all of these, so thank you.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the sign as presented. It has to be 12.5 feet from the street
And not illuminated.
and no lights and no illumination.
Sign must be 12.5 feet
Off the curb.
from edge of street pavement.
No lighting.
No lighting or any. All right, so I have a motion, that the sign must be 12.5 feet from the edge of the start of the pavement, and there shall be no lighting or illumination at all on the sign or its landscaping.
That's
Have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, getting and working through that one. You have the paperwork for all this? I don't need it now, as long as you got it for each folder. Yeah, okay. Okay, next on the agenda is the Milford Senior Center, I believe. As you guys position yourself, let me read the, I know we're running a tad late, sorry. It's on the application of Milford Senior Center, 60 North Bow Street, for a variance from setback provisions of sections 2.4 and 2.5, or other applicable provisions of the bylaw in relation to a parcel of land located on 60 North Bow Street, assessors map 48, lot 4472, located in the IA zoning district consisting of .76 acres more or less, which parcel is owned by the town of Milford. The relief is sought in order to permit the erection of a gazebo within 6 feet of the side lot line. With that, the applicant basically indicates that they'd like to install a patio at the senior center. We have title and reference numbers. Planning board did review the petition above the regular scheduled meeting on 7/6 and recommend the following, which was unfavorable. Town planner letter indicates, and I'm paraphrasing, the applicant requests a variance to construct a 16 by 16 wood frames gazebo with 20-foot required side setback. The gazebo is 6 feet from the side north property line. The proposed gazebo will be located off the rear patio area, between the patio area and the upper Trials Trail. There is a fence and screening along the north property line, and the adjacent fourplex located at 54 North Bow Street is over 50 feet north of the proposed location. I believe we have plans on here. Anybody got a plan? Or no? Hang on with you? Can you throw one up on the board, Sue, for me? That'd be great, so that everybody can see it. Okay, so there's the patio and there's the gazebo. Wonderful. You have anything in your file or no?
No.
All right, if you,
Chris and I do not.
Sue, would you go up and point where the gazebo is going?
The gazebo will be right here. This is our patio area, and we strategically placed the gazebo in the back corner, so we can leave all of this as open space.
Right.
We have a beautiful garden here.
I was there, I did see it tonight.
Okay, so
Good
it's a
one.
really beautiful
It looks
patio,
awesome.
and by tucking it in the corner, we're able to use the whole thing.
Okay. That's a bike trail that goes right off that.
Right.
Goes right to it? Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Dave,
we'll
can you
behind.
pass it this way
Behind
too,
that fence.
when you're done with it?
What's that?
There's in the application process, they're supposed to provide us plans, but it must be on a small budget on it.
They are.
We only got one.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Here's the patio. Gazebo's.
Actually, it looks beautiful down there.
Isn't
When
it
I
great?
drove in there, it looks
It's
great.
really a beautiful site, and this will just be what we need.
How many seniors can you fit in that gazebo?
Is that a, John, is that a joke?
No, seriously.
As many as we can.
The abutting, is anybody here from the abutting property? Anybody here that want to be heard on this hearing? Okay.
I just make a motion, we close the hearing and approve it.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve as submitted. It's 16 by 16. Any other comments?
I'm good.
Any other last words?
Thank you. And I invite you all down to sit in the gazebo.
I'm not old enough.
But before I go,
Well, I have a
give it a
second.
year or
Not
two.
yet, you. I have a second.
Second, yep.
I'll take you up on it.
I see here that you have. a
Motion,
special-
motion by Dave, seconded by John. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous.
excellent. Thank you so much. Can I
What's
just
going,
mention?
when I went down there, the largest eyesore I saw was the crap from the trimmings of the grass.
Yes,
It's an eyesore.
I know.
That's
So
where they
that's-
dump it? Town doesn't remove that?
We're working on that. They are gonna take that. That's all the weeds that we cleaned up, so that.
Oh, so
we've
it's
had-
temporary.
It's
It
a
was
work in
temporary.
progress.
Oh,
We
it
have
was
had
temporary.
great support from the Highway Department and the Parks Department.
Yeah,
because
'cause
we
it
don't
looks
have-
awesome down there
we
when I
don't
saw
have
that.
Landscapers or any of that. So they've been very
You don't have-
helpful to us.
You can get his mower and go down.
It's a lot of
Bobby's
gas.
really good.
I
He's
ran
our
out.
senior of the year, just to let you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
We're
just
at that
wanted to
age.
throw in that we have support from everyone on this project.
Beautiful.
The Highway Department is gonna do all the site work. BVT is gonna build the gazebo, and Lowe's is donating the material.
That's wonderful.
So this is a great community
That's a great
project, and
community
I really
project.
appreciate your support.
Should have the planning board help build it.
I'm flabbergasted by that. I mean, to move it where they wanted me to move it would just,
Well, you would add,
we'd run out of
You made the
space.
sale.
Yeah, okay. Zip it,
all the
right?
plan, you
Made the
got it.
sale.
Zip it up.
See you later. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thanks, Bob, for coming down. Appreciate it. Okay.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you. Oh, I gotta sign this. Always remember that you got, if there's a plan and it's unchanged, you gotta sign it.
Sign it, okay.
Not that far from using that gazebo. Huh? Not that far from using that gazebo.
No. David's already there, I think.
I am not.
Make the cut yet.
I did drive down, take a look at it. It was nice. Okay, next on the agenda is 182 Purchase Street, Camellia Rosa. Please step forward. Where's my agenda again? Keep on losing it. Okay, this is on the application of Camellia Rosa of 182 Purchase Street for a variance of setback provisions 2.4 and/or 2.5. The bylaws in relation to a parcel of land located on 182 Purchase Street rear. Assessors map 21, lot 9, located in the RB zoning district consisting of .44 acres more or less, which parcel is owned by the community road. The relief is sought in order to permit the erection of a storage shed within 6 feet of the rear lot line. Applicant states, the shed is currently set back 15 feet on the rear. The sides are under zoning guidelines. Concerning the circumstances relating to the soil conditions, the shape and topography, the applicant states there are no negative effects to any other land in the zoning district, and also indicates the current sale offer and no place for outdoor storage. The applicant indicating this will not cause any problems given the nature of its simple shed, no electric, plumbing, and it will be located on the property. With that, the planning board reviewed the listed petition at the regular scheduled meeting, and they did vote unfavorable. Town plan letter indicates that the application form is incomplete and an accurate survey locating the shed has not been provided. Also, there appears to be no hardship relating to the land in question that would warrant the granting of any variance. Therefore, I recommend the board forward an unfavorable report over to the zoning board. So with that, do you have any plan with you? Other than what was,
All the paperwork is in front of you.
so I'm confused. You've got, it's showing here there's a house, a garage, a shed, and then another shed?
Yes, the one that I draw is the one in question.
We can't, we won't be able to, what is this permit here?
So the permit was pulled, but the setback was not enough.
So you're requesting, you got a shed that's probably doesn't conform now, right?
It's under construction. I mean, we stopped the construction, but the foundation is down and the walls are
Are you
up.
talking about this area here?
Correct.
You've already started this?
Yeah, I did.
You need a plan, an engineered plan showing where this is. We've had this problem before.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
We had this problem before. I just want to give you some information. When we had this problem before, someone went along and built it. And then come to find out, the structure was already built, and it was 2 feet from the gentleman's property line. There was no permit pulled. That person had to remove it and move it, once they provided us a plot plan, an engineered plot plan. You can't build this without a plan. So you can continue this if you want, the hearing. My suggestion would be to continue it, or once you get everything engineered, bring it back. But I can't vote on something like this right now.
Well, what are they looking for, Dave?
They're looking, it's already under construction. It looks to me like, and I don't know, it looks to me like it's a 12 by 16 shed and you already poured a concrete pad?
I did. So here's the thing.
It's a 16 by 16.
We sold the house. And I told the guy, I'm not gonna finish the shed. Because the house is sold. And it's a big deal for him to have the shed. I don't care if I have to tear it down. But he wants to finish the shed. My question is, can we finish the shed? Because here's the thing, it's a lot and a half. So if we go by,
Not an engineered plan.
Oh, I'm confused. It says,
You're under contract, is that what you're saying?
We are, yes.
You're under contract to buy it or sell it?
To sell it.
To sell
Sell
it.
the current property.
Okay.
all right, so, but I'm confused. It says here that that you're within you're looking for a variance to be within 6 feet of the rear lot line. But over here on this plan that you submitted,
Right.
it shows 14 feet.
yeah, it's 14 feet off the property line.
Yeah, that's your measurement, right? That's what you put in here.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know if that's correct or not correct by an engineer, by an
So who
engineering
went
firm.
to her house to measure then? Because there was a lady from the town went
couple
there
people
and
went there.
they took the measurements. And they said they were from the town.
Yeah, but this is not, again, they probably took the measurements because you pulled a building permit to build a shed. But we don't know if you're really
Did you
within
pull,
there.
did you pull a building permit?
Yeah, it's right there.
After we started.
After you started?
Right.
Where did you get the 6-foot thing?
We don't know about the 6-foot thing. We never said anything about 6-foot thing.
Where'd that come from then?
I'm not sure.
We
It
have
was
no
just
idea.
on the paper that came from the town of Milford about
And it
the.
says you're within 6 feet.
No, they're talking about the original shed.
The shed that's back
The shed that's currently there is in violation.
Oh, this one here, the small one.
The small one, yeah. I
The
think.
small one's in violation.
But our neighbor has one back to it, so I think, and this was previous to, we purchased it.
How big is that? How big is that?
So David,
how
are they
big is
here,
the-
are they here because of this?
No,
It's
the
about-
comments
5 by
by the
10.
town
It's a small shed.
says that that shed's not in compliance, but this is what he's trying to build, and he doesn't have any
That's
plans.
not the one in question.
Right.
Engineer plans.
Is this in compliance?
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, David. David's gonna yell at you.
That there, what he did is he started building that without a permit.
Okay, and then he went and got a
And then we
permit,
went
and
and decided to sell the house.
Right.
then the town gave him a permit.
Is this a copy of the permit?
Yes, it is.
So the building inspector gave you this permit. Then maybe that's why they brought it to 6 feet. That shed's gotta go.
Well, that's what I.
That's probably what it is.
That's what can I see,
Yeah.
can I see that?
This permit was just issued in June.
Because they can build a shed as a matter of right,
That's correct. They can, as long as they're not in violation of the setbacks.
correct?
Correct.
And if this is correct with the measurements, and he's got a building permit, he can build that, but he's in violation with the other shed,
The old shed.
the old
Well,
shed.
that's what it looks like, but I don't know, but that's not what I don't think they know.
Right,
I don't
that's,
think they know why they're here.
Right.
Does that make sense? You guys,
You're in violation, you're not in it doesn't look like you're in violation of what you're trying to build.
Forget it.
You're in violation of the existing shed.
do you,
Which, when we bought the house, it was already there.
okay, but
But
do
when you
you,
pull the permit, you triggered the other violation.
do you guys have a lawyer that you're working with?
No.
So when you're selling the house, you're not having a closing?
So here's the thing, if we get,
Well,
Can
no,
the,
for the
can
closing of the
your
house,
new
we
buyer
must.
get away without the shed? The small shed? If you're building a new one?
I don't
like,
think so.
no, I don't think so.
Can you move that, roll it in?
No.
Is
The
that
small one?
concrete? Yeah.
It's- There's a block foundation.
So what?
I'm gonna move that.
Put on rollers.
No, we can't. It's like a patio. It's a foundation.
Come up here for a minute. Both of you come up here for a minute, okay? You guys, when did you buy this piece of property?
2 years ago.
Oh, okay, 2 years ago. So what we think from all the paperwork you provided is this shed right here was built illegally, say whenever it was built
Whenever it was
10
built.
years ago.
Right.
So now, when you go in to sell the house, this shed is within 6 feet, and whoever built this shed never came and got a variance from the zoning board.
Is
You
it an
understand?
old shed?
It's an old shed. yeah.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
so that's where the 6 feet comes up, right here.
In the
okay?
notice.
Because
Violation.
Because this is closer than, what's the side, is it 6 feet, is it 5 feet? What's the side setback for a
That
shed?
zone over there,
It's 3 feet on 120 square,
It's 3 feet?
on 120 square.
no,
Okay,
no.
so that's what
120
makes this lot in non-compliance. You understand? Because you don't have an existing variance for this shed.
No, but he's also in violation of the rear one too, because that's 25 feet.
What's the setback?
25 feet.
25.
The one he's
Correct,
building
14.
is 25 feet.
It's 25 feet
So he's in
for a shed?
violation with that too.
Because he's at 14 feet.
Right.
So he's in violation of that too. But you already poured the foundation for this?
So here's the thing though, if I bring this shed back 25 feet, what is good, the half lot that I have there? What am I gonna do with that?
No, the zoning bylaws, you have to be so many feet for a structure, front, rear, and side. Whether a backyard or like your house. You can't put your house 10 feet off the street. Based on the zone, it's gotta be like 30.
I understand that.
There's a
We're talking
zoning,
about
there's
a
a
house,
zone,
not a shed.
It's-
You know what I
but
mean?
it's a
still a
zoning
structure.
bylaw.
It's still a
There's a
structure.
regulation. This is,
Yep.
and that's why you're here, because you need that relief, because you violated the zoning regulation. So you're supposed to be 25 feet off the rear of that property. Now, can you get a Sawzall and cut the few feet and then add it inside? You could.
See right here, you have 25 feet here, you have 16 showing the width of the shed, and then you have, I don't know what that is over here, 19?
It's a 16 by
16 by 16
So his
shed.
violation is the rear, 25 feet.
Here.
You have written 14 feet, is that?
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Probably what it is,
Is it 25 for a shed?
25 in the rear, in that
Well,
zone.
really?
In that zone.
In that zone, yeah.
Could we take into consideration that we have two parcels, two pieces of land?
Well, let me ask you a question, David. What is the side setback? Because it's that,
Full
Be 10
59
feet usually, I think, in that zone.
but again, we're
Someone have
saying,
the zoning regs?
yeah, we're saying this
Yeah.
is the rear, or is this the rear?
This is the rear.
This is the rear, based on the assessing map.
Gotcha, okay.
I mean, regardless, we have a agreement with the buyer to,
The
if
pro-
this.
the problem is you need, right now, you need 2 zoning variances. You need a zoning variance, you need zoning variance for
For the
this
existing,
right here,
yeah.
and then you need a zoning variance for this right here.
If it helps or in our cause, our neighbor has a shed right against this too.
He probably did the same thing, it was built illegally. What's gonna, let me tell you what's gonna happen, and it happened in a transaction that was in, someone put the shed on an easement, and that shed had to get moved because it was in violation, or the seller had to turn around and give him a credit because of the violation, and not deal with it. When are you closing?
July 31st.
Even if you got a decision today, you still have to wait 20 days.
No,
20, no, it's a 20-day
So
appeal
you-
period. Anybody can
appeal
come in
period.
within the 20 days from the decision of today. So you wouldn't even be able to close on time.
But the problem with the chairman saying this is that we don't know exactly how many feet or how many inches this is. It's not an engineered plan showing exactly where it is. If you had come in and not build the shed and said you want it to be 10 feet, it would be easy to do.
I think the simple solution for him is cut the concrete with a concrete saw, get your 25-foot setback, and pour a pad up front and be in conformity, and get to the closing. Because otherwise, even if we grant you relief, you're not gonna make the closing. So, again, it's up to you, but these are suggestions that, we've seen this before. That way there, then, you know, if we just pull this out, and if you can do that, I mean, you know, it's efforts for you. It's gonna cost you some money, but
It's a slab,
it's a slab. Yeah, get the 25, you got the permit, right?
Just get an engineer to put it at 25 and build a shed that way.
You know what I mean? So get your 25 from here to here, and then just add some here. And then, are you gonna build it before you close? You can't escrow it? Put some money aside and just escrow it?
yeah,
We have
that's.
tried,
Well, maybe that buyer should, never mind.
he loves the shed more than he loves the house.
I got you,
What's
I
the
got you,
buyer's
okay,
name?
I got you.
So we can look out for him when he comes here.
So there's a couple of ways you can go with this.
And then as far as this one,
Well, if you withdraw this, then
then also, okay.
Right.
it's gone.
He's gonna have to live with it. Just, it is what it is.
Give him a credit. Give him a small credit.
We already did.
Okay.
We told him,
Okay.
keep that and
Do you want to withdraw this without prejudice in case you need to come back? Or you want me to continue it?
can you sign something that it's unapproved so he can just eat it?
Well, we can deny it.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes, because
That'll
our
be great.
options are, we either get this approved or
Or
we
deny
credit
it
him
and-
back.
He will-
Okay.
Couple
It'd probably be
thousands
your
in.
easiest thing to deny.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, awesome.
Less work for you.
Anybody else want to be heard
A
on
lot
this
of work.
application? Sorry, we had to get some clarity going here. Please have a seat. You have a motion to deny?
Make a motion to deny.
We have a motion to
Second.
deny the variance request.
Second.
Second by John. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous. It is denied.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations, I guess.
You need to get thanked for that.
Okay.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Keep on losing my agenda. Okay, 3 Casey Drive. Sagamato, did I just wreck that whole last spelling of the pronunciation?
Scamato.
What is it?
Scamato.
Scamato, okay.
David, you're a
G here,
You're
okay.
Italian.
On the application of Thomas and Michelle Scamato, 3 Casey Drive, for a special permit to construct a supplemental apartment under the provisions of section 1.1 and/or the bylaw in relation to a parcel of land located on 3 Casey Drive, assesses map 53, lot 28, located in the RC zoning district consisting of about 1.30 acres. This parcel is owned by the owners and applicants. The relief is sought to permit the construction of a supplemental apartment in the basement of the premises without expanding the footprint of the existing home. Excuse me one second. I put that in the wrong folder. I'll get that out. Okay, the applicant indicates let's see here. The shed currently is set back 15 feet to side. This is the wrong one. How did that get over there? I pulled the wrong one, I'm sorry. That should have went that way.
You're gonna get a shed
No,
too?
I did.
We can move
You're gonna
my-
need a pillow in a little while.
You can move my mom into the shed.
I don't want to lose
It'd be a nice shed.
It'd be a nice shed.
Wow, you guys did a lot of writing. Okay. Oh, they were duplicates, okay. The in-law apartment, currently, right now, the in-law apartment does not, doesn't even have the appearance of a single-family home residence, and is strictly for the addition of one of the additional persons will not create any undue traffic, according to the application. And as far as the use causing any harm in the neighborhood or nuisance with health or safety or traffic, the proposed use of the premises is in harmony with the neighborhood and the in-laws, and is allowed by right. The residents will not cause any nuisance, of course, within the public arena. The planning board did take a look at this at their 7/16 meeting, did recommend a favorable report off to the zoning board. The town planner indicates a special permit to establish a supplemental apartment in the existing single-family dwelling. The proposed supplemental apartment is to be remodeled basement, which will consist of 3 rooms for occupancy by the applicant's mother. No additions are being proposed for the dwelling, therefore he recommends a favorable report for the zoning board. Did you have a plan with this?
Yes, it's not included?
There's a plan right there, Dave.
Okay, I got it.
There's a plan.
I do have a larger scale of just this apartment, if you'd like.
You got a larger, that,
I mean, it's only 8.5 by 11, but it's long.
oh, that's much better, thank you. So you got you can get a nice rear, okay.
Tommy,
I have a question for Mrs. Scamato. Mrs. Scamato,
She's Mrs. Moore.
More.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
any preferences? Now's the time. Now is the time. You want anything special put in here? Want anything special?
Would you like a flat-screen TV and,
A jacuzzi?
She's a little
You can make these stipulations
Make it
now.
legal.
this is allowed by right, so that the public listening does know. The special permit is good for 3 years. You need to just keep on extending that for as long as you need to. If you don't extend it, it expires, then what happens is you lose that right. So always try to remember that it's good for 3 years. There's an appeal process of 20 days. So once a decision is granted today, you will get something from town council providing you the approval of this. Please record it. I just ran into someone today that did not record it. It expired, and therefore they cannot use it. So please make sure that your attorney or have an attorney record it for you. And again, it can't really go beyond 3 rooms, but the setup is absolutely fine. Does any applicant here have any questions concerning this particular application? If not,
I vote that we approve it.
approve anybody else? Second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Congratulations. Try to keep it simple.
Enjoy the jacuzzi.
Enjoy it, will you?
Should've put a stipulation on John. Should've put a stipulation on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Should've got her son back there.
She didn't want anything. Nice lady.
Yes, very nice people. I'm glad the bigger plan come in. You gotta do a better job than that.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, well, that's what was submitted. That was tough to read.
Oh, yeah, I like.
Ah. Oh, I didn't, but- Okay.
John did not bring better plans for us. John did not bring better plans.
Would have thought you would have had better plans than that.
Okay, the next hearing,
Send it first.
I believe it's the last, this is for Louise. You know, Louise, come on up. I'll read the hearing notice and then we'll get right into the hearing. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
David, are those the plans for the house?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to see the plans while Dave's reading?
Yeah, please.
I have photos of the existing house.
If you could put one up on the board.
Yeah.
The plot plan, and then if you've got plans, we'd like to see those.
That's what's currently there. There's 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, I figured you'd go by.
Just one set of plans? Is that just one set?
That's fine.
That's okay. You can just give those to us. We'll look at them.
John and Tom.
We'll post it. Post it.
In that current house is a dirt floor.
There is?
Somebody tried. to
Any
build
conflicts on this one here? Probably not.
Guys wanna see this?
Joist over dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna want to see the plans.
start it-
I'm not
start it
gonna want
down
to see
there.
them, but they're gonna want to see them.
See it, Dave?
It's on the agenda again. You gotta read the announcement. Where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. It's on the application of Luis Filippi Innocents at 12 Cherry Street for a special permit for the replacement of an existing home with a new home under the provisions of section 3.1.4 or other provisions of the bylaw in relation to a parcel of land located on 4 East Charles Street, Assessors map 33 to lot 122, located in the RB zoning district, consisting of .22.5 acres more or less, with the parcel is owned by the family. The family has sought to demolish the existing ranch-style home and replace it with a single-family story home on a pre-existing undersized lot, which lacks the required square footage. Applicant indicates basically tearing down the existing single-family home and replace it with a 2-story single-family residence which conforms to all the existing minimum zoning setback requirements except for the lot size. According to the non-conforming uses, non-conforming land use, the building may be replaced by another non-conforming use upon the issuance of a special permit by this board. No such special permit shall be issued by the board unless the Board of Appeals specifically finds the replacement use shall not be substantially more detrimental in the neighborhood. Concerning the reason that the permit is sought in harmony with the general purpose of the bylaw, the applicant states that the new single-family home is replacing the existing single-family home. The applicant attempted to just renovate the existing dwelling and even replace the existing roof, but there are too many defects in the existing building and it makes more sense to conduct a brand new residence. The applicant indicates the new resident is just replacing the existing residence, therefore will not create any more undue traffic or impair pedestrian safety. In fact, the new residence will be in more compliance with the existing zoning setback requirements for the district. Therefore, this has been sent off to the planning board. They reviewed this on 7/16 and did vote favorable. Town planner letter indicated that the applicant had requested a special permit to replace the existing family dwelling on a 10,000 square foot lot, which currently is non-conforming and is located in the RB district. During a recent remodeling of the existing dwelling, it was discovered the structural conditions of the house were just too severe to warrant repair. Complete demolition is the only logical solution. However, because the lot is undersigned in the RB district, a special permit would be needed by the ZBA. The new 2-story single-family dwelling will be reorientated on the lot to better be situated will meet all required setbacks and be similar to other dwellings in the immediate neighborhood. Therefore, they did recommend a favorable report be sent off to the zoning board. I have something here from the assessor's office dated June 13. In connection with the above captioned matter, would you please provide this office with the abutters list, which they have endorsed. So we do have everything in the folder. Site plan is there. Let me take a look at the site plan real quick.
You guys moving into this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into your home?
Okay.
Whoever did your application did a good job. Did you do that? Whoever did your application, did you do all that work on the application?
No, it was a lawyer.
Good, okay.
I don't have any problems.
You gotta do a septic, okay, proposed. So the existing home was what, 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2?
It was 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms? Okay.
Awkward area over there, and the house has no foundation, that's why we stopped.
No, I was by there today.
Buyer beware one of the things, huh?
So you tried, you're the one who tried rebuilding it?
No, we hired a contractor to do that.
Contractor to do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
We tried to replace, so the roof, it was kind of flat, and then we tried to
That's what
do
was there.
Yeah, no, I'm
a new
almost
pitch
set.
on the roof, so we started doing the roof, and then the building inspector went over there and told us, open the floor because I think that house is sinking.
It was all dirt underneath.
Yeah. And he was right.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
See, we just,
So this entire structure's coming out to exclude that extension in the back.
Yes.
It's all coming
Anybody
out.
else want to be heard on this?
Yeah, so he told us that that house is gonna be a money pit, so probably
Best
guys
thing to
just
do.
need to
Have a motion?
put it down.
motion, excuse me, I make a motion to approve.
Any other comments, questions? All set?
Second the motion.
Motion to approve, seconded by Mark. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? So you're going to get something from town council, the 20-day appeal period if someone wanted to appeal this decision. I don't see that happening. but Good luck, and I
Thank you so
hope
much.
you get in before winter.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations. See you later. Good luck. Want your plan, take your plans back.
No, there's a 20-day appeal period.
So 20 days, you're gonna get a letter from town council. You can't really start officially until after the 20 days from today's date. Okay?
And about this sealed fence, can I just
Yeah.
start doing that?
Demolition, you mean?
No, just the fence in here.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah, you
fence,
can do that.
you can get a demo permit from the town.
Yeah, you can
start all
demo it, you
that.
can start all that
You just can't do any new construction
Oh, no,
until the
no,
20
I
days.
don't.
until the 20 days are up. So you can go ahead and go.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
Good luck.
Good luck. Don't leave anyone because we've got a couple of outstanding issues here.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good
Good
one.
luck to you.
We have a request, I got a call right before the meeting started. Attorney Fernandez ended up with an emergency and had to rush into Boston. He was coming here tonight asking for the purpose of this letter is to request that the board vote to extend the time to exercise the variance dated September 25th, issued the above referenced matter for 6 months pursuant to the MLG, Chapter 48, Section 10. Copy of the variance is enclosed. The variance extension is requested because the clients have been delayed in their ability to carry out the rights granted under the special permit, which they respectfully request to be determined to be good cause. Ask that the matter be brought forward tonight and ask for an 6-month extension. This is on the Dairy Queen site for the solar. Apparently, it's some interconnection stuff they're still waiting for before they can start.
So just to, so I can understand, the variance is only good for 12 months?
Correct.
So they're over the 12 months?
They're gonna, by the time they start, they may be over.
Oh.
So they want to make sure that they have the extension to cover themselves.
Okay, does it make sense, it's the solar panels, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes sense just to give them 12 months?
If you would like to make a motion to give them 12 months, then that would be fine.
Yeah, because I know
They
the
may,
solar.
yeah, the solar takes longer.
The solar stuff, the paperwork bogs you down, so it could be longer, you know what I mean? So I don't have a problem doing 12 months.
Nice.
I have a motion to extend instead of 6 months to 12 months. Have a second?
Yep.
Second by John. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous. And then I have one last housekeeping.
Yeah, it's still.
I need a motion to accept the minutes from the June 13th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
A motion by Mark, seconded by John. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous. And then I have a motion to adjourn. Have a second? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night and completely enjoy your summer. Thank you.